Testing one, two, one, two, one, two. Testing one, two, one, two. West Coast College students, can you hear me? West Coast College students, can you hear me? Loud and clear. Can you hear me? Let me see a thumbs up, please. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this very auspicious occasion. While we've got the technical people doing their thing around us, we're just going to get moving with the program. Fridays are generally short days, so we don't want to keep you longer than we have to. We've got an action-packed program. It's quite a unique program. This type of work is very pioneering work, and I think during the course of the day, you're going to hear the common recurring theme of preparing the workforce for the just energy transition. So without going into too much of policy and too much of regulatory type of information, we're going to take a very, very skills development approach to the just energy transition. So mark that in your minds. This is a very, very centerpiece, a big part of the just energy transition, where we are looking at the role of electric and hybrid vehicles, and we're going to park that under the umbrella of e-mobility. And so you will start to see during the course of the program that not only are we looking at four-wheelers in this entire program, we're also looking at two-wheelers, three-wheelers, and maybe, obviously, 18-wheelers and more. So it's going to be quite an amazing day, and I think that this is your opportunity to engage, and it's a program that is designed to really, really profile the students of Project Power Up. And what we try to do, and what we've set out to do from the very beginning of this project, is to ensure that ultimately the student is the centerpiece of the project, and ultimately our students get to visit the workplace, learn in the workplace, excel in the workplace, and hopefully, we all cross fingers, be absorbed in the workplace. So with those opening remarks on our theme for today, and let me reiterate, it's preparing the workforce for the just energy transition. With that theme in mind, it's my pleasure to call upon our hosts for today. And before I call upon Ms. Mapula, it's very important for us to recognize that our hosts today are not just our hosts, but they are an integral participant in this program. And the students that you see at the back of the room are from West Coast College, and I'd just love if you could just give them a round of applause. Come guys, let's see some smiles at the back. You're too nervous at the back. Soon we're going to call you to do a very important dance in the front. Are you ready for the dance item? No? All right. Okay. So I'm just going to be moving up and down here. Ms. Dapula is our Deputy Principal Academic. And before I call upon her, I just need to recognize that Mr. Lungisa Balua and Mr. Andre Bola are the two people that we initially started this conversation off with. And I must say it was quite an interesting conversation. We called up with very short notice and we said we'd like to meet. And there wasn't too much of hesitation. We got a meeting immediately with the two senior people in college, and the rest was history. So Immediately they saw the synergy with their 4IR strategy, and I must tell you, if you visit their 4IR center, it's a sight to behold. And maybe we might even get a chance to have a visit there. But having said that, with those opening remarks, I'd like to call upon Ms. Dapula to provide the official address from our host, West Coast College. Put your hands together, please, for Ms. Dapula.
Good morning, everyone. I don't know whether am I audible?
Yes, you are.
But I've got a big voice. I can speak. Yeah. I'm a teacher by profession. Nobody in this room. We can speak with students standing here. The students are there, and as a teacher, you must have that big voice. It comes with being that profession of being a teacher. But for recordings and whatever is happening there, I'll use the mic. Then my voice will be bigger than its normal voice. Firstly, before I start, I had to apologize for our principal, Mr. Mulawa. He is out of town. He would like to be part of this occasion, but due to DHT commitments, he had to be in Northern Cape. So this week, he was busy at that site. I really apologize for him. And Andre, the one that is normally managing the occupational, today said, no, ma'am, you had to go and stand there because you are my manager. But thank you, Andre, also for making sure that we take part of this. On behalf of West Coast College, it is my great honor and privilege to welcome you all to this important and existing occasion. The official project Power Up West Coast College launch of E-Sondo. Allow me to extend a special word of welcome to our distinguished guests and partners, representatives of the Western Cape government, in particular, Ms. Melissa Parker from DDAT. Thank you, madam, for always trusting us. SIFA representative, SIFA represented by Ms. I don't want to say the surnames of people wrong. It's most rare. I always make sure the surname because I don't want to be called wrong. So I also make sure that I call the person correctly. Thank you. Saki representative Mr. Yani, Isaac Jefferson, and Ms. Inapen Aku. Thank you. Gaps, thank you also for being here. Project Power Up, EduSkill, Mr. Pandey and his team, EV Green Skill, members of the media, the executive managers of West Coast College, our dedicated West Coast College staff, and most importantly, our Project Power Up students of West Coast College that have made this project to be and make this able for us to have this day. I welcome. Okay, today marks yet another history day for West Coast College as we together with our partners break new grounds and quite literally take charge. If you allow me the pen of the future with the launch of this pioneer project. We believe that with the ongoing support of our funders, industry, and educators, for indeed we are all educators at heart, we can continue to grow in our mission of providing skills and build towards greener economy for South Africa. Through projects like Project Power Up, we are able to create opportunities for our students to be trained in trades and skills that are not only relevant, but essential in the economy of tomorrow. The theme for today's launch, Future Proving the Workforce for a Future Energy Transition, could not be more timely. At West Coast College, we believe that such transition is desperately needed, not only in our province, but in our country. revolutions, we are confident that we will equip our communities, our province, and indeed our country to be future-centered and prepared for the new technology that are becoming an integral part of our lives. To our students, I want to say this is your moment. We wish you well as you embark to this exciting journey. You are the future custodians of the skills, knowledge, and innovation that will power South Africa's green economy. Finally, to our partners, the Western Cape government, SIPA, SAKI, GEPS, Project Power Apps, EduSkill, and all others who have walked this road with us, thank you. Thank you for selecting West Coast College to drive this project. The first of its kind in the province. We are proud to take the wheel, and we know that together we are ready to take on more as we continue in our mission to build future together. From the West Coast College executive managers, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tapula, and we're very inspired by your words, and we're very, very inspired by the partnership that we have with West Coast College. So you can see that this college is forward-looking, and you would have thought that colleges would have been chomping at the bit to participate in this project. Unfortunately, I think we were a little ahead of our time, and college curricula sometimes take a little longer to catch up with the industry. But having said that, there was no hesitation from this particular college because they have embraced the 4IR agenda quite broadly. So West Coast College, congratulations on being part of this project, and we can see that you're not just educating people for today, but we are actually future-proofing our workforce. It's now my pleasure to introduce the next speaker. I have the pleasure of, well, we've got the pleasure of being funded for this project. And without funding, there can be no just energy transition. It's extremely expensive to manage a transition and to move away from fossil burning fuels to renewable energy and to have a green economy, as the Western Cape government has done so well in particular. To have that type of transition is resource intensive. We would not have been able to achieve half of what we've been able to achieve without funding from the Skills Initiative for Africa. And if you look around, you're going to see on your folders, if you look at your folders, you will see quite a few logos there. And those logos are not just there for branding. And Rumbitsa Musirere is going to take us through how is it possible to have this type of transition where finance and skills intersect, and where all of these different role players that you see on the folder, hopefully you're going to explain to us, because I know when you explained it to me the day before yesterday, for the first time the lights went on, and I understood how the entire chain.
Bluetooth pairing.
So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, from the Skills Initiative for Africa, Rubitsai Muserere.
Good morning, everybody. I hope I'm audible. Let me just really take the opportunity to thank you all for coming to this event. So what excited me when I got into this room this morning is I saw some young people wearing some blue garb and looking like they were industry ready. And that got me really excited because I think the young people who are right at the back of the room are really the focus of our event this morning. and really central to all the work that's going to happen in Project Power Up. So, and it's always nice when they're included in these launches. So this was just offside that I'm excited that we had them to join us for this morning. So let me take this opportunity firstly on behalf of the Skills Initiative for Africa, which is an initiative of the African Union. The African Union headquarters in Midrand, Johannesburg, and they are the custodians of this project, Skills Initiative for Africa. The funders of this project are actually the European Union, but the European Union and the African Union come together to work on this mega project called the Skills Initiative for Africa. So SIFA is actually operational in 8 different countries. And here in South Africa, we've had the privilege to have 6 projects selected. So I will quickly hasten to say that Project Power Up didn't just walk up to SIFA and then they said, look, we need money and get money just like that. Not at all. It was a very competitive process. So there were proposals from all across the country. There were actually some TVET colleges who also applied looking for funding. But the criteria for selection for this project was around innovation, number 1. But number 2, it focused on the objectives of the SIFA project. So as the AUNEP agency, we are in the context of the just transition and youth employability. And that's why, again, I reiterate that the young people are the focus. The ability for young people to be able to get jobs is central, not just in national discourse, but regional discourse. We've got young people who are doing all kinds of courses, but when they finish, to then be able to get a job is challenging. So this is really a national prerogative to say, look, how can we merge the two things? Enhancing employability while we are also looking at the central theme of a just transition. In other words, for us to move away from the natural fossil fuels to go to a more less carbon intensive society. I hope I'm not going to digress and go long, but whenever I have talks on this, I always like to conscientize our stakeholders around this just transition. Because a lot of people often would say, look, we have people starving in Africa. Why is the just transition important? We've got hungry children, we've got disease. But if you go to other countries, especially in the Sahel, Uganda, going there, because of this climate change, it's impacting severely on drought, on food, on people's health. The ozone layer was depleting. So we're looking at a critical topic that has the imperative of us, securing our future. And that's why this just transition is important. And when we can put these two concepts together, just transition, employability, then we win, then we score. And this is where the objective of the Skills Initiative for Africa is. So the project was divided into funding windows, 3 funding windows. In South Africa here, we participated in 2 funding windows. The first one focused on infrastructure projects. So for example, we've got a project in Capricorn College in Limpopo, where they are building what's called a FACT center, a center for water process control. And then we also have an air conditioning academy that's being constructed in Midrand. So that's funding window infrastructure. But Project Power Up falls under what we call funding window 3. And these are the innovative skills development projects. So the projects that we looked at and ranked, and we realized that they have something to offer in terms of innovation. So this is one of those projects. We've got 3 other projects focusing on OIR and also around virtual reality. So my pride in Project Power Up is that it directly touches on the aspect I mentioned of the just transition. Because really, new energy vehicles, hybrid vehicles are the future of the automotive industry. And so these young people, if they should get training in this, they're being equipped with future skills, relevant skills, skills that speak to the national and the regional prerogatives. And that's why from our side, this project is really a front runner across many planes. Not just that, but we're excited at the model of the project in that it brings together employers as well as the training institutions. I was very excited to hear about the ongoing relationship with Golden Arrow here in the Western Cape and the project. This is exciting, and this is visible at national level. So the African Union, at the African Union level, these types of initiatives and partnerships are recognized and acknowledged, and that's why I think even our presence at this event matters somehow, because we would like to acknowledge those partnerships and would like even to take those as lessons to replicate regionally and nationally. So I think lastly, from my side, as a final comment, I really would like to emphasize our continued support as the CIFA team. What we hope is going to come out of this, firstly, and most importantly, number one, is the outcome of quality employable young people. So we're going to have our eyes really focused on what's going to happen with the training. Secondly, we hope to have strengthened relationships between industry and our public training providers. But lastly and most importantly, we would like to take this model and disseminate it, not just locally, but regionally. I think next month we've got the International Skills Week in Zambia, and this particular project, believe it or not, is going to be showcased there. So that tells you that what is happening here at West Coast College is not just something small, it's something that national eyes are going to be on, regional eyes are going to be on. And so I'd like to encourage all of you who are involved in every capacity to really gather together. Let's work together and let's make this project shine and show our brothers and sisters nationally, internationally, how it's done. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that, Ruby. So I think if money makes the world go round, then skills make sure it doesn't slip out of control. And I think we are making sure that every last cent that is brought in through this funding mechanism is there to really benefit the most important people in the room, and that's the learners. It's now my pleasure to introduce the next speaker, and I think this is quite an important moment for us as well, because we've had a partnership as EduSkills with Saki for a few years now, and this is probably the largest project that we've worked on. And I think from the point of view of partnerships, if you look around the room, if you look at the various pull-up banners, and as you drove in, when you saw the branding, you're seeing partnerships in action. We're not just paying lip service to partnerships, we're now actually living and implementing these partnerships. So I think that would be the kind of appropriate preface to introducing Mr. Yanni Isaacs. So just a quick bio of Mr. Isaacs. A seasoned leader in education, management, and nonprofit development, with executive experience in youth empowerment, executive coaching, and institutional leadership. The former principal and CEO of the College of Cape Town, and has held key roles in education and community development for over 3 decades. We were just talking about the 3 decades earlier on. And when he was already the principal of a college, we were just entering the field, and we were greenhorns, B9I. So they got 10 years on us, these leaders. So they were the pioneers of TVET in this country, really speaking. As chairman of SACI's board of directors, Yanni brings strategic insight, governance expertise, and a deep commitment to skills development. He holds an MBA from the Stellenbosch University and a BA from the University of Western. His leadership continues to drive impactful initiatives for youth employability and education. Mr. Yanni Isaacs, put your hands together, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Thank you very much. I don't know why they always go into the files to extract these. I've even forgotten about it's indeed a privilege for me to be with you this morning on this auspicious occasion. It's historic in many ways, and I think we should not undervalue the importance of what is happening today. This is a pioneering initiative that will prepare young South Africans to take their place at the forefront of the new green economy. At SACI, our purpose has always been clear, and that is to empower young people through skills development and to open pathways to sustainable careers. Since our founding in 2001, SACI has invested more than 400 million rand across more than 200 projects, directly enhancing the employability of over 30,000 young South Africans. These young people are now working as artisans, as technicians, entrepreneurs, and leaders across the industries, providing that when we invest in youth, we invest in the future of our country. By virtue of the nature of our establishment, which originated by the involvement of the Swiss government and their quest to develop a dual system in terms of training and development similar to the Swiss model, our work is rooted in collaboration. And over the years, we've been bridging the gap between the TVET colleges, industry, and SACI has become a trusted partner in shaping vocational education and training, pioneering work-integrated learning, and ensuring that the skills of our graduates match the needs of the labor market. This track record gives us confidence as we step into the bold new space of the new energy vehicle sector. You would have heard from the previous presentation in terms of the criteria that we put forward in order to award this project to a provider. And we at SACI are very proud to be selected to fulfill this role. Project Pole Up presents a strategic partnership between SACI and the Guru Group of Learning with the generous support of the Skills Initiative for Africa, SIFA, under the auspices of the various funders. Together, we are addressing one of the most critical skills gaps of our time, and that is preparing our workforce for electric and hybrid vehicle technologies. This program, as you would hear later onward, is innovative in both design and delivery. It has recruited 60 promising young candidates from 4 TVET colleges in the country in 3 provinces of our country, all with a solid foundation of engineering. Against that background, we would like to compliment once again West Coast College in stepping up and being instrumental in providing the services that is required. Beyond technical training, the participants will also gain workplace readiness and entrepreneurial skills, something that you would hear of later this morning. Because the future requires not only skilled employees, but also innovative job creators. It's important that over and above the technical and vocational skills that our learners and our students acquire, that they should also be provided with the soft skills in terms of how to interact and how to deal with their work within the workplace. Importantly, in collaboration with the QCTO, participants will receive recognized credits towards a national NEP skills program, establishing a sustainable pathway for future specialists in this field. This is what SACI does at best. We collaborate, we innovate, and we educate. For nearly 25 years, we have shown that when we unite with government, when we unite with industry, and when we work within the communities, we can transform. And we can transform the challenges into opportunities and unemployment into employability. Against that background, I'm honored and I'm grateful to all the partners that have collaborated in this venture. West Coast College, the Guru Group of Learning, Golden Arrow Bus Services, as well as Stroom. Thank you for joining forces with SACI. Collaboration is truly the key to impact. Together, we are not just training individuals, we are building the backbone of an industry that will drive South Africa's competitiveness in the global green economy. To our youngsters who have embarked on this journey, in many ways you might not realize it, but you are pioneers. You are entering a field that is dynamic, that is filled with lots of promises. Let me ever remind you what our former president and father of the nation once said. It is what you make of what you've got, not what you are given, that separates one person from another. You are at the beginning, and let me advise you that it is only in the dictionary where the word success becomes before work. In everything else that you do, in order to be successful, you have to work. Let me also remind you what Madiba once said when he made an address. He said, "It is in your hands now. What you make of it will determine your future." So, ladies and gentlemen, with those few words, I'm proud to have been part of this organization from our roots in the Swiss South African collaboration, in becoming a non-profit company, in becoming a strategic partner with our TVET institutions, and thereby making a difference to our country. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Isaacs. Those words come from a real pioneer of Tibet in this country and probably in Africa as well. So we are very, very grateful, and we're very, very privileged to have a person at the helm of SACI, of the board of SACI, and we continue to work together to deliver the best possible quality service that we can to the students of this country. The next item on the agenda is the introduction to Project Power Up. It's a short video. I think we are sorted out with our technical issues. All right, so if you could just sit back and just enjoy the next few minutes of this video.
PPR Green Skills, powered by EduSkills. South Africa is stepping into a new era of renewable energy, and EVR Green Skills is here to lead the way. The shift to electric vehicles and sustainable power isn't just coming, it's already here. And we're building the skills that will drive this transformation forward. Our learners begin their journey on a state-of-the-art digital platform. With a personalised dashboard, every course, lesson and result is easy to access. Each course is designed by experts, blending world-class e-learning with real-world practical skills. The content is interactive, engaging, and tailored to make complex topics simple, clear, and unforgettable. Learners don't just sit back and watch, they engage. From interactive videos and scenario-based activities to downloadable resources and step-by-step guidance, every lesson is built to ensure understanding and mastery. And as learners progress, assessments are graded instantly, giving them real-time feedback and the confidence to keep moving forward. EVR Green Skills is more than an online learning platform. Our hybrid model connects digital learning with practical, hands-on workshops. Whether it's installing renewable energy systems, servicing electric vehicles, or working with sustainable technologies, learners gain both the knowledge and the experience to thrive in South Africa's green economy. This isn't just training, it's transformation. EVR Green Skills equips individuals with the tools to support the rollout of EV infrastructure, drive innovation in renewable energy, build careers in one of the fastest growing sectors, and prepare South Africa for a sustainable future. The renewable energy revolution has begun, and with EVR Green Skills, learners don't just study the future, they become it.
The technical guys got this right. Well done. Thanks a lot. So the people at the back are the people who've been using the system. As you heard Rumbi mention earlier on, this project is funded under funding window 3, where it was, I think it's called innovation and digitalization. And so an important part of this project is the blended mode of delivery. But I mean, it's one thing to say blend, and it's a completely different thing to actually get it right. Lots of people have been dabbling in this area, and everybody has a learner management system. But the amount of curation of content, the amount of learner management system ticks and tacks, the amount of work and labor that goes into all of this is actually quite a long mile to walk. That last mile of delivery that we talk about with the two-wheelers, there's a big last mile of delivery in online learning as well. And I must say that with the combined efforts of the technical people and the non-technical people, we now have a place where Project Power Up can reside online. But I think the beauty of Project Power Up is that it doesn't rely on online learning only. What it does is that it goes a step further and makes absolutely sure that the three components that the QCTO and the MERSITA and the other CETAs in the country would like to see in occupational learning. And so that would be the knowledge component, the practical component, and the workplace component. And what we've done is we've been able to integrate all three. And I think that's always been the challenge of vocational education and training in South Africa and in the world, for that matter, to be able to successfully integrate and to harmonize between those three components. And what we found is that using technology, not just for technology's sake, but using technology to enhance the learning rather than replace the trainer, actually has some very, very happy outcomes. And what we found is that where you have a situation where knowledge is seen as the theoretical underpinnings and the foundational knowledge, we've been able to adopt a video-based approach to knowledge training. So we've done away with reams and reams of paper where you take the paper and you PDF it and you call that e-learning. But what we've done is that we use instructional designers, we use website developers, and we've curated content that would ordinarily have been quite static and has now come to life and is quite interactive. And with the video-based training that we've brought in from the UK, we've had to customize, we've had to localize, we've had to adapt, we've had to make sure that the content is relevant. As far as electric and hybrid goes, we know that an electric is an electric is an electric. wherever you go. So 80% of the content would remain the same. However, there has to be a proper customization of the content for local people with local knowledge. And so that's what we think we've been able to get to, and that's what that video talks about. Let's quickly talk about what is Project Power Up, because from a very, very basic perspective, it's very much a technical program for repair, maintenance, diagnosis of new energy vehicles. And this program is a skills program, and it has been submitted as a skills program for registration by the QCTO and the CETA. And so the registration, I'm going to a little bit of technical detail, but I think it's important because we do want to see systemic change, and we do want to affect policy in the country. And so we think that we'll do their best by piloting this project and making sure that we have empirical knowledge which we can use to prove the demand for this program. And so before this program was implemented, it was preceded by action research. And so the action research, well, I think the emphasis is on the word action, but even before we started actioning it, we conducted research to prove that there was a match between the supply of these skills and the demand for it. Now, you wouldn't say so if you look at the challenges we've had with placing young people in the new energy vehicle sector. But that is not the fault, or that is not blame that needs to be apportioned to employers. The reality, the economic reality, is that there are very few new energy vehicles on our roads. And so, what we've always been challenged by has been the ability to place young people in an appropriate, suitable, relevant environment where they would be able to bring to bear the knowledge and the practical that they picked up in Project Power. And so that challenge remains. It's an ongoing challenge. It's not unique to Project Power Up. It's a systemic issue in this country. And so when we register the skills program, hopefully that will be sooner than later. When we do register that program, it will have those three components: the knowledge, the practical, and the workplace. And I think that based on the consultations that we've had with industry, consultations that we've had with QCTO and the CETA, soon to be the transport CETA, as well as the energy CETA. Okay, so back to my teacher's voice. Yes, we've always got our teacher's voice to fall back on. And so, based on those consultations, the program has been very well received. There's been a lot of support, and we think that we have a very good chance of actually registering this program for 48 credits in the 48 credits in the new year. And we think that if that is successful, then the people at the back will then be receiving their credits through a recognition of prior learning process that we will engage in going forward. And that would be for us the crowning glory, because I think that it's about empowerment, and it's about making sure that while we have all these beautiful things happening in knowledge and practical and workplace, we're also able to affirm the learning with proper accredited training where our young people emerge with credits for their learning. So I think that that's what we are focusing on. And while we are running the program, we're quite conscious of the fact that action research doesn't stop. We're now entering the third component of the program. We have delivered in 2 colleges already. This is the third college. The other 2 colleges are probably one leg in the workplace and one leg not so much in the workplace. But I'm being deliberately vague because that is a battle that we are fighting on a daily basis to place young people. So this is the third college. The simulator, finally we look at E-Sondo, has been named E-Sondo because it's loosely translated into green wheel. And we want to see green wheels. We want to see green wheels on the road, and we want to make sure that these green wheels are the wheels that take us into the future. The simulator arrived in the college literally a few days ago. So these young people have not really had the chance to really engage with the simulator. And I think when you do see the demonstration, you will be pleasantly surprised at how well the interactive learning has been taking place while the simulator has been in the other colleges. So instead of having an arms folded approach, the technical trainers have been busy working online with the learners so that when they finally did see the simulator arrive, it wasn't for the first time and they had already engaged with it online. Now they have the opportunity to touch and feel, and now they have the opportunity to make mistakes because it's a simulator. And I think that would be a big thumbs up to the funder because it comes at quite a price. And so to have a simulator that simulates high voltage, I mean, one of the key things that we teach in Project Power Up is management of safety and the hazards that come with high voltages. And so we're able to work with this beautiful machine without the risk of electric shock. And I think that is one of the biggest things that we manage in any training program. Therefore, we'll see PPE, personal protective equipment, and you'll start to see that learners, even though there is no real electric current running through this digital simulator, you will start to see them being trained even here in the classroom, in the workshop setting, with the high voltage gloves on. The last thing about the Project Power Up program is that, as Ruby mentioned, there's a need to make sure that it doesn't stop at a skills program. There's a need to make sure that it becomes institutionalized, and that's the reason why TVET colleges are part of this pilot. Because the idea is to empower TVET colleges to go beyond the duration of a pilot. And once the program becomes registered with the QCTO, we'll then have a situation where the first 4 colleges, Ekululeni West TVET College, Tshwane North TVET College, West Coast TVET College, and Buffalo City TVET College will be able to take the baton and run. And I think that would be the idea of the capacity building that we're engaging in. And while the college is able then to take up the baton from there, its learners, hopefully all of its learners, will be in the workplace, and that conversation from 4 months of workplace learning, that conversation will then move to absorption. And that's what I think every person who works in TVET wants to finally see. We want to see young people finally being absorbed in the workplace, and so that we can have a fighting chance at making a living, growing a business, running a business, and thriving in this country. So that would then be the short introduction to the project. There's a lot more that can be said, but what we will do is we will leave that for the tea break, and we'll leave that for the lunch break, because I think what we want to see is we want to see these partnerships flourish. And after the tea break, we'll then be able to give you a little more information about some of the stakeholders in the room, because we've got some very exciting partnerships. And don't forget, we have a surprise announcement which we still have to make. So without further ado, we are now at 11:15. 10, sorry, 10:15. We did very well on the time, by the way. I must say, we did really well on the time. Can I ask you to have half an hour lunch break? You need tea break, but half an hour is too much. It's fine. Okay. I have been instructed half an hour is fine. All right, back in half an hour. All right, 20-minute tea break.
Thank you. Bye.
So when I put the logo there, because it's got no white background, you can't even see it. It just disappears in the blue.
Sure.
Look. You can't even see it.
So we have to put
White.
the white on it. What else can we do?
Being picked up by the microphone right away.
I know that about this.
Wait, that's not networking. Phone book. Can you give me a voucher? I gave all my vouchers because I was the intern. Your phone. Yes, but it's fine. It's got sorted. The microphone is with what they're saying right now, so be careful.
This side, Lynn, and that one's
Long time no see.
Only joke. Just be careful. The tea bag seems underneath it.
So when I retired from this, I refined and started my own business. So I contacted the National Business Centre. Also facilitate Do you know what the frequency of surfing? Surfing is big waves. Yesterday we got a big wave surfer to come and talk to the not the young people, the leaders at Sozo about having a storm mentality. In other words, learning to take, because it's quite a feeling to stand on top of a wave that big.
Maybe the mouse?
Can I not remove the
You want to disconnect the live stream?
just the video, not the live stream itself?
Then it's going to be a blank screen.
Because I've got 71, 69 pictures on this. I think I'll give another.
Can I ask everybody to take their seats, please? Can I ask everybody to take their seats, please? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
7 years, 8 years.
Can I ask everybody to take their seats, please? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Grab your tea and sit down, please. All right, it's now time for us to power back up. And I hope you had a nice little break, had some refreshment on the program. We don't want to lose too many people as we go along, so let's just bounce up for the ride. We're getting into the heart of the program, and we have in our midst the Department of Economic Development and Tourism, and you all probably know by now that GDEC has been a central piece of the partnership. So I think with any partnership, there has to be some glue that binds everybody together, and that glue has been provided by GDEC. And I think it's quite clear for people to see in this province that this provincial government has gone quite a few steps ahead in this green transition. That has been quite refreshing for us, because what it has done is that it has catalyzed a lot of partnerships in this province. And so not only are you seeing large employers like GABS taking the lead with their unbelievable electric bus fleet, you are also finding smaller employers in this province starting to really marshal the energy and the resources and the technology to take the green transition forward. Having said that, it was quite fortuitous that we met Melissa Parker. We were actually having a meeting, we were having interviews, and we were interviewing the students, and we were doing the induction, and we were getting them ready to enter Project Power Up, and we walked into the boardroom and we said, oh, there's a meeting going on there. And they said, no, they didn't show me the door down there. They said, no, sit down and have a seat. And Andre introduced me to Melissa, and the rest was history. Because from that very fortuitous meeting, we sent out a letter. The letter went rounds, the engagement.
Sorry, the ladies can't hear at the back. They're struggling to hear you.
Can I? Testing 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yes, sir.
Can I put this away?
No.
No. Okay. So that started the engagement, and from there, I think as the provincial skills and partnerships manager, Melissa has taken quite a role, played quite a role in, as I said, catalyzing a lot of the relationships and partnerships. And I think it takes both national players, regional players, and local players for these partnerships to work. And at the national level, we've had wonderful engagements with the RMI, who I think are represented here. Welcome to the Retail Motor Industry Organization. We've had lovely partnerships with NAMSA. I don't think they are represented here today, but NAMSA is a very important part of the partnerships. We've had provincial engagements with DDEC and with other members of the government fleet. I think they are also represented here. I won't go through the list because I'll leave that for the attitude of gratitude we are going to express later on. But just a brief introduction to who Melissa is. Melissa has a Master of Tech in HR Management, 20 years experience in HR, in the public service. Current role, Director of Provincial Skills and Partnerships Portfolio within the Skills Development and Innovation Program at DDEC, working closely with a range of stakeholders across the skills ecosystem, including the public and private sector. Most of her efforts have focused on strengthening partnerships to ensure that the skills supply pipelines is better aligned with and more responsive to the evolving needs of the industry. And those are just not words. I assure you, those words have been translated into action. She also served as operations manager at a training company specializing in implementation of various skills programs. Put your hands together for Ms. Melissa.
Okay. Melissa's voice will carry right to the back, don't worry. You want
Good morning, everybody. Can everyone hear me? Am I clear? Yes. Okay, sure. Thank you very much, Mr. Pandey. I know that you asked me to show you budget for the longest time. I think I started calling you budget in the last few days. It's always been Mr. Pandey. But to everyone, thank you so much for the opportunity. On behalf of Western Cape Government, I'd like to acknowledge all the partners, West Coast College, SACI, EduSkills, and the funding partner, Skills Initiative in Africa. I would also like to acknowledge Golden Arrow Bus Services. They are one of our long-standing industry partners that have graciously opened their doors to help our human skills workforce to gain the practical industry-aligned competencies relevant to the automotive sector's shift towards new energy vehicles. I'd also like to acknowledge our partners such as RMI, Yes for Youth, Western Cape Government Departments, Energy Resilience Team. I'm not sure if Yasin is here from our Government Motor Transport, GMT team. But these were just all the different contexts and leads that we had that just assisted with this journey that we've been on. The City of Cape Town, our valued seaters, NBI, and of course our most important VIPs, our TH students that have embarked on this exciting journey. Give us out there. For us as Western Cape Government, I think Mr. Pandey has covered it in the profile, but our aim is really to be the connector between industry and energy, and also to foster public-private partnerships like this, like we have between SACI, EduSkills, and West Coast College. So we can make sure that we are providing the current and future skills needs for the economy. For the province, this is very much in line with our theme to our growth for job strategy, where our focus is twofold. One is to make sure we provide more economic opportunities for young people. And by that we mean more skills, more work placement, to make you more employable. And secondly, we also want to promote energy resilience in the province. Today for us, as we gather here to celebrate, it's a very monumental moment and a step towards securing the future. This project exemplifies the power of collaboration, because it's taken a number of partners, as we noted earlier. Everyone that's speaking today, all the work done behind the scenes, but it just shows the power of collaboration, how we united as diverse stakeholders with a shared vision. Our journey together exemplifies that when we collaborate, when we share expertise, resources, and vision, this is more than just a project. It's a testament to what we can achieve when we work united for a cleaner, more sustainable future. Thank you once again on behalf of DDAT and on behalf of Western Cape Government for allowing us to be part of this journey, and everyone's support and participation in today's group. So on that note, I think I've got to do the honors.
All right. Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay, well done. Yeah, round of applause. Okay, so can I ask our lovely students to come to the front, please? Can you all come join us in the front, please? Quickly.
Okay, so let's do this quickly, guys. Can you please join us quickly? Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's it. That's it. That's beautiful. You guys are looking beautiful, right? Right. Okay, can we close that door, please? Can we close that door, please? All right. So I think this is the pinnacle moment of our program, and we thought it was very important while Vanessa is doing the official startup of the simulator. And you are right here in our midst to celebrate this moment, because this is quite a life-changing moment. Without exaggerating the point, we think it's a life-changing moment, and we think this is a great opportunity for you guys more than anybody else in this group, that you are an integral part of this launch. So I think we had a chat at the back, and you know that this is an opportunity for you to grab with both hands, because we all know what the unemployment stats are in South Africa, and we know how difficult it is to get a work placement, let alone a job. Just a workplace learning placement is quite a mission. So I thought it was necessary and important, before we get E-Sondo rolling, to congratulate you guys on being successful in being recruited into this program, and for still being here and not dropping out. Well done, congratulations. All right, so I just want to introduce this amazing man here, who's been who had a bit of an accident yesterday, so he's in one piece and his family is fine, so that's brilliant. We have Shadrach Ambe, and Shadrach has been an EduSkills trainer for a year now. He holds an electronics and mechatronics degree in engineering, no less. And he has been working in vocational for the last 10 years. He's been a small business owner. He can fix anything, any appliances. And I think he is really, really well placed to be able to take these students to the next level in their lives. So without further ado, I want to hand over to Shadrach, and Shadrach will walk Melissa through the startup of E-Sondo.
Thank you all very much for this wonderful opportunity. We don't take it lightly and we don't take it for granted. So, ma'am, we'll walk you through the process. Good, you start with the power. That's great. And then this is the display screen. You start your engine, just like you start an engine or any other car. Great. Now the system is preloading. And it's ready now to drive. So, ma'am, can you match the accelerator? Let's go. Yeah. Wow. So that's the EV car driving. Thank you so much, ma'am. We appreciate you. Thank you, sir. Okay. Want to. Okay, she has put it on maximum power. Nobody should be on the way this time because we'll crush you. This is one unique instrument that no emission, no fuel, so it's driving without you don't see exhaust smoke coming out from anywhere. So it's a perfect equipment. Just as a real-time car, EV car operates, we have every function loaded here. So that's why we can use it to do our simulation, do diagnosis of fault, and do troubleshooting, and train the student how to even work in workplace. We'll do some of the demonstration with time as we go on in this program. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so we now have a historic moment. We want to call upon Saki and Golden Arrow Bus Service, Gideon from GAPS. Mashuda and Gideon from GAPS come and join us here in the front. And Yanni, can you please join us here? So you guys come across here. You guys wait there. You guys wait there. You guys can come across here. Just here. There we go. Can you help us with the SLAs here, guys? All right. And Mashuda. Wait.
All right, so I think we'll be next item. Right, so what you did is the historic signing of a service delivery agreement for workplace learning between Golden Arrow Bus Service and Swiss South African Cooperation Initiatives. And this is for 4 months of workplace for 22 students at West Coast College. Another round of applause, please.
It's now my pleasure. Oh, that's gone quite loud. It's now my pleasure to introduce Gideon Neitling. And Gideon is from GAPS, divisional engineer since 2008. And after an extensive consultation career in industrial engineering in the mining, fishing, manufacturing, and transport industries, nogal. He holds a degree in industrial engineering and an MBA from Stellenbosch University. We're very privileged to have in our midst Gideon Neitling. Put your hands together, please.
Hi, good morning. It's a real privilege to be here on behalf of Golden Arrow. And this is a classic example that Anna says if you want to shut Gideon up, just give him a mic because he cannot move his hands and then he cannot talk. So I'll do my best. Just a bit of background to our project. So we started testing electric buses, give or take early 2021. And we ordered 120 electric buses after we completed 200,000 kilometers of testing. The first 60 operational, there's 20 being prepared for operations. So they'll be in operation before mid-September. And then by December, there's 40 probably on the water at the moment. So they should be operational end of December. The luck that you've got if you give these deadlines is that as long as we make, if we make the deadline of when the schools go back in January 26, we're still fine. We've got 30 chargers installed, 120 kilowatt chargers. We're busy installing the next 30. Each charger have got 2 dispensers, so by December we'll be able to charge 120 buses in one go. We've got 2 megawatt peak of solar installed. There's another 1 megawatt going in before the end of the year, and then we'll keep on ramping that up until we run out of space for solar panels, and then we'll take the next step in renewables. So far, since including our testing kilometers, we're over 800,000 kilometers with electric vehicles. Last week, we did just short of 70,000 kilometers. So this is ramping up dramatically. By the end of this, we'll add another 1.2 million kilometers before the end of the year. And in golden arrows terms and fuel consumption, a kilometer is close to a kilogram of carbon. So what we usually say is that in Cape Town, the carbon is removed. In South Africa, it's not necessarily removed. It depends where the electricity was generated. But in Cape Town, it's gone. Probably with bank or somewhere. This move will show us that we're short on skills. And that's why we're here today. There's a feeble joke. How do you know somebody drives an electric car? They tell you. I drive an electric car. The first questions you get when people see that, how far can you drive on one charge? How long does it take to charge? Have you replaced your battery? Because you've just told us you've driven 142,000 kilometers. The biggest worry that people have got in electric vehicles after they get over range anxiety is the battery. And range anxiety, let me detour a little bit or go on a little bit of a tangent, totally overrated. Very few people know how often they use their car and how far they drive. My car do 200 kilometers. When you tell people that, you can just see the disappointment on their face. I said, be careful. Just go and have a look. It's probably worth it to rather rent a car when you cannot do the work that my car can do. And mine's old technology. The newer cars you can buy now. So range anxiety, once you live with an electric car for a week, not a problem. Day one, you're worried to drive from Paarl to Epic. Am I going to make it? Then see, no problem. Then seriously worried, Cape Town to Hermanus. And you put it in Eco Plus, so there's no aircon heating, there's nothing in the car. Windows open, all that nonsense. Now you drive it as if there's no tomorrow. And there's only the biggest risk of electric cars is not your heater or the aircon, it's speed. If you're heavy on your right foot, you're going to be seriously heavy on an electric car because it's instant torque. Your first set of tires, you don't get a lot of kilometers. And then after that, you drive it properly and you do not allow your sons to drive. So what's the way forward? We need to develop accredited training material because we train a lot at Golden Arrow and BYD, our supplier, train our people and they get a BYD certificate. But you need something that's accredited in South Africa. And that's really difficult actually to get done, so good luck. We also need to upskill the existing people that's working for you. One of the examples, what we've done, we've got a program. It's still in infancy or small, but we call it the 2-star artisan. And yeah, it's lack of creativity for a better name. On an artisan certificate, there's a big red star right bottom So what we've done, we took, I think it was 10 each of diesel mechanics and auto electricians that qualified, and we offered them a second apprenticeship in the other skill. So really rough figures, this is like the artisan level of a mechatronics engineer. So we've got, I think it was 8 on the way to 10 that's qualified. Ooh, geez. It's no wonder I haven't been at the training center for a while. So we've got 18 two-star artisans that's qualified. So they carry 2 of those certificates, therefore the two-star artisan title. What we also want to do in the future is to do the same on the body side. So to double qualify people, vehicle bodybuilder and spray painter. So in theory, you send 2 people to a bus and they should be able to do everything that's on the vehicle. That's where we want to go. Then, and this morning is one of the examples, partnerships. We often want in our own little silo, in our own little pedestal to do everything. It's the worst thing you can do. We need to work together. And this is a fantastic example of that. Just so it's industry, it's government, it's the educational facilities. That's everybody must work together. What we have done, another example, we partnered with the University of Stellenbosch. Serious bias from my side, why it was Stellenbosch. And I really, there's a few guys that work with me that I love taking a dig at the UCT people and everybody, but there's many good universities in South Africa. There's one really good one. And one of the examples where what we've done, they took one of our old vehicles, I think it was a 2005 model, and they converted that to an electric bus. It's the first round. There's a snag list that's, I don't want to say as long as my arm, but there's a snag list that we need to fix. But without having that, you cannot have the snag list to start with. And then you stay in the cycle of talking about things. I'm a sucker for a quotable quote, and one must be careful that when everything is said and done, a lot more is said than done. So there's one bus that's, it's got work that's required. Plus, out of our relationship with Stellenbosch, a number of people have graduated with 1 PhD. And then also, example this morning, vocational training. There's many places that can do the theoretical side of training, but the practical, there seems to be a serious shortage. And that's where we come in. And Mashuda and her team, and Kirsten and his team at the back, and Faik at the back, do fantastic work to work with young people like on our left, on the practical side. And we definitely do not let them do their training by watching. It's physically working. Again, a feeble joke. A number of years ago, I used to say, when I started at Golden Arrow, I used to do the introduction or say hello to the new apprentices. And I say, we should have an inspection at the end of each day where the people walk around and put their hands like that on the table. If there's not grease under their nails, they should be in trouble. So that's the way that they should be trained. That's the way that they train with us. Then a morning like this, we tend to just go for all the rah-rah and the good and all that. There's risk here. There's big risk. The risk that we see is that there's no support from government. And yes, call me a liar for no support. And I'm talking about our project. If you call me a liar for 0.13% of the capital that we are spending, government assisted us with, then call me a liar for that. It's our funding. There's so much funding people talk about, but to get not your hands on, that sounds as if you want to misappropriate the funding. That's not the point. We really struggle on that side. We've applied to this jet energy transition. Our project is deemed not suitable for the just energy transition. And then I'm going to say, how, and I want to use all kinds of words. I would love to see the project that can qualify. Okay, but that's not why we're here. I just had to get that off my chest. And it's not only for that. It is to get it off my chest. And yes, I feel we feel really done in and all that. But that's not the point. We need to repeat this regularly that we do the right things at the right places, that this project can go forward. But for today, we are serious about training. Years ago, our union really had a go at us. No, you don't train, you don't train. So what we now do, we count the training days at Golden Arrow. Training days, one person. We used to say man days, and we get into big trouble for that now. We get into huge trouble. But we count the training days that we train. So if you at the training center or being trained for one day, boom, there's one. 17,000 per year, Golden Arrow. So nobody can argue about that. This is not an is not argument. It's give or take 17,000 training days every single year at Golden Arrow. So yes, we are serious about training. That's why we're here. Otherwise, this would have been, the ginger cookies are really nice. Otherwise, it would only have been for that. So just finally, it's by working together that we're actually going to do something about this. And we need to capitalize on the opportunities that's coming. And that opportunity is for people in the industry and for young recruits to come into the industry. Because automotive, we actually struggle to find candidates that's really suitable. It's not a sexy industry. Everybody wants to sit behind a desk in an air-conditioned office. So this is something where you can really make a difference. And this is why we're here. We want to make a difference, and we want to keep on doing this for the next 164 years of Golden Arrow's existence. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that, Gideon. Thank you to our partners. This agreement proves that the bus to the future is not late, it's right on time. You asked for a quip, so I gave you one. I think that's quite amazing. And then can I please recognize the amazing role played by Mashuda de Vries and Raymond and Kirsten and whoever else I've forgotten. You guys are amazing. 17,000 hours, days. Wow. 17,000 days. A round of applause, please, for that. Okay, so we've now reached the time. I know you've been standing there waiting for the speeches to finish, so the speeches are almost done. It's now your show. What I want to do is I want to ask Matthew Jacobs and Romeo. Where's Romeo? Carlos. I knew I was going to get it wrong. I'm sorry. Carlos Maciza. Please put your hands together for these two young men. Right, so when we first came out of the Western Cape and we were trying to recruit students, and you know, when you recruit students, one person's going to stand out. And we used a nice word for Matthew. We said he's so precocious. And he is very precocious because he stood up and he put his hand up. And when we had trouble with technology and the facilitator wasn't arriving and there were problems and we were looking for Wi-Fi and the Wi-Fi was falling, Matthew would stand up and he would just help and he would just get the class going. So well done, Matthew. Thank you. Okay, so I want to hand over to Shadrach. Shadrach, please, if you can then take the ball from here and keep it rolling.
Thank you so much, sir. The student, they will now demonstrate on how they will use the E-Sondo to light it up for us to see. So it was launched, but I have to disconnect everything back to zero level, let them set it up. So, but first they'll do their presentation, and then they'll go forward to give us the display on how to set it up. So,
thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. My name is Matthew Jacobs. I'm a student of West Coast College and a student of Project Power. And this is my fellow student, Carlos Msizwa, and we will be demonstrating how to use the E-Sondo card. If I stutter later on, I apologize in advance. So what is Project Power? Project Power is a skills program that enables its students to learn the skills required to repair and maintain electric vehicles. So why is this important for South Africa? Well, obviously, you know that there is now a transition from internal combustion engines to electric and hybrid electric vehicles. But I personally don't think it's a transition, but more of an evolution. Since if you go into the past, cars didn't have any electronic devices in it at all. Then eventually, got your aircon, your ABS, all these things, and then you needed auto electricians, and your profession came up. And the same with electric vehicles. It's not going to come and take over everything and all the other cars. But we're going to have hybrids, and hybrids do have internal combustion engines. And every car company at this point in time does make at least one hybrid or electric vehicle. So, as an example, if you're working at Toyota as a mechanic, you come into the place, you work on all the cars, here comes a Prius, and now all of a sudden you don't know what to do. I think that this training against EV skills is just the next addition to motor mechanics. Now, there's a lot of countries that, at this point don't actually have the skills for the EV industry. But I believe in South Africa, if we can get this up quickly, then we might have more incentive to these large companies overseas to put resources into our country, which will in turn attract investment and boost the economy. Now, how this skills program works, so obviously we have our book learning, academic backup. Then after that, the workplace. And before we go to the workplace at healthy Adam, we will need to use a simulator, which will teach us the basics, so we don't, make accidents or weld an arrow when we get there. So we will know exactly what to do. So in what we learn, there are two, in my opinion, how I see it, there are two core, as a principle, or areas that we learn. The first is safety, of course, since electric cars use high voltage, and this high voltage is high enough that a small accident can very likely be fatal. In addition to that, there is electromagnetic fields, which are extremely strong, so strong that you'll lose jewelry or zipper, or even your cell phone can be propelled with enough force that it can cause some harm. The second area we learn is what you call it, fault finding. Yes, yes, that is. So fault finding. So we do fault finding because you cannot repair a car if you don't know what the problem is. So using diagnostic equipment, we will you figure out where the problem is coming from, and once we have figured out the maladies of the car, we will then be able to repair or replace. So now we will show you how to work on this machine and basically how to start it up, and our colleagues will show you all that.
Welcome everybody. Like I said, Matthew said, my name is Carlos. So basically today I'll be demonstrating the car train simulator. For first things first, we have to make sure we know like what every component is actually made for. Like for instance, we have our emergency stop. Anything maybe like problematic or like high voltage that's like leaking or like in the open cannot actually electrocute anyone because we don't want any fatality. Yeah. So basically, we have our wheels, we have our dashboard, we have our selection mode, we have our charging port over here, we have our negative terminal for the battery, the emergency, the service battery there, the emergency and the service part. So we have four different types of modes. We have parallel hybrids, we have series parallel, and we also have parallel series. So at the moment, we're gonna demonstrate using the parallel hybrid. So first thing first, can you hear me at the back? Thank you very much. So we're gonna put this is what you call an overlayer because like since we have different types of modes, we have an overlay of the series, the parallel, and the series parallel mode. So we're gonna put the overlayer in the series mode.
And we have something called jumpers. I can also ask from one of our classmates the different type of jumpers, the difference maybe.
Simple terms, they are known as jumpers. The two orange jumpers are used for the inverter rebuild, while the white jumper is used for choosing the mode of the car frame.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tanya. So, like the mode jumper goes straight over here on the mode selection side, and the two jumpers, like you see, the other one is for the inverter and the other one is for the battery. So they always go over here. Also, do bear in mind the white jumper, the selection mode, differs according to the type of mode you'll be currently using, right? Then also, we have our negative terminal plug, gonna flag that. Also, take note that whenever we're doing this, everything is switched off because we don't want any mistake to happen, and while it's switched on, then people can get executed. Then when we're gonna put in our service plug, we have to make sure we do wear gloves. Our gloves have to be like no holes, no tears. Make sure sometimes you have to blow inside them because any form of hole can actually let current flow through and get shot. You see? So you wear your gloves. And also, sorry, I can demonstrate. Make sure you don't have any. You don't have anything with metal, either like earrings, lanyards, anything because. Sorry, can you tell us about your PPE and electric shock? Not a problem. So our PPE, like you can all see, is boots, but the type of boots that only use silicone. There is no metal. There's no metal, and same as there's no zip. It's just a stitch and patch. Basically, that's the same with the pants. No metals, no earrings, no jewelry, no watches, no nothing, because anything is possible. Safety precautions, basically. So we're gonna wear our gloves, just like that, and also make sure your gloves are actually class 0. So it's a certain type of glove that is actually used for high voltage. Also, we are doing our first. Sorry, thank you. So when you're doing this process, here, my class and my teacher, there is a rule we actually call a one-hand rule. Because for instance, you might actually touch here, when you actually put it, your service plug in, you still get electrocuted. So we take one hand, put it at the back for safety reasons, put your plug inside. Then you plant, and you can take off the plug because most voltage service plug is actually downward. Then you also check, and also since like you check with your emergency stop, service plug, and negative terminals, and also you put also your overlayer. Then you're gonna start plugging in. Also, yeah, sorry, I almost forgot. The emergency stop hold, not for on hold, you have to be hold, or anything should happen, or it's like all you can actually go on. So you also put in your plug on the side, then you're gonna switch it on. Then from there, it is gonna continue the rest.
So as you know, with combustion engines, As you know, with combustion engines, you have different types of configurations: front engine, rear engine, mid engine. You have inline engines, V engines, flat engines, for and etc. So there's many configurations for electric vehicles as well. The two I'll be explaining briefly for you is the parallel hybrids and series hybrids. Now the way a parallel hybrid works, is it has two engines, one combustion and one electric. Each can work independently of one another. And basically, it's a combustion engine that has an electric motor to help it become more efficient. Whereas a series motor, on the other hand, has an electric motor that drives the wheels, and your petrol motor is just a backup generator in case you run out of charge and you can't find the charging station. So now that you know that, uh, the content the content simulator has started, and we have different options for languages. Here I will select British English, and for those who can't see, it will display a dashboard of a car. So right now there's nothing going on, the car is off. So I will go to the ignition and turn on. Now the car will be in standby mode. And when it's in standby mode, we can turn on teacher mode. And teacher mode will display a onboard diagnostic machine. And on this diagnostic machine, you can see whether the car can pick up any faults on itself. Currently, there are no faults that have been chosen, since on this plane you can select faults for fault finding. But currently none have been selected, so the car is safe to drive. So now that I've exited that, I will then turn on the car, and it will take some time to load. Might have to turn it again. No. It's taking its time. And it's going. And it's ready. Okay, now that it's ready, we can use the accelerator. Now that it is on and ready to drive, we can press the accelerator. So I do that. And now the wheels are turning. So then once again, I will press on this little display and it will show the drivetrain of the car. And currently, you will be able to see, since it is a parallel hybrid, you will be able to see the combustion engine, the electric motor, battery, and the driven wheels. Currently, it is driving very slow, and like I said before, a parallel hybrid is basically a combustion engine, a petrol car, diesel car that has a electric motor to help it be more efficient. And petrol and diesel cars are most efficient at higher speeds, between 80 to 100 kilometers. So when they, driving slower, that's why you have your gears, you get them up to speed. So right now you can see the arrows going from the battery to the electric motor to the driven wheels. If you can't, you won't be, well, many of you won't be able to see that. But okay, so basically it will display a red arrow going from the battery to the electric motor to the driven wheels. So the red color indicates that the car is discharging energy, it is losing power, the energy is going into the car and it's using up its energy. But once we speed up a little bit, now the car will shut off its electric motor and start running on the combustion engine. So now the lines have turned green, because now even the combustion engine, just like it's driving the wheels, it is also charging the battery. Now, another feature of this simulator, if I were to slow the car down a little bit, I can also change the type of terrain it is driving over. If it's flat terrain, going uphill or going downhill. Now, if I were to turn it to downhill, now the lights have turned green. So before it was slow, but it was losing energy because on flat terrain. But now that it's going downhill, it is gaining energy, because electric cars have a thing called regenerative braking. And this regenerative braking basically works like a bicycle's dynamo. It charges up the car. And that is all I can say to you for now.
Thank you so much, Matthew. They are not doing bad. That was this. At least these are the students. You can see their performance. Let's take it from here. Another round of applause. So this is what you're getting, Mashuda. Okay, so they're going to add significantly to the 17,000. All right, so guys, well done. That was an awesome demonstration. We know that it took 2 people, but we know that all of you are capable of doing this. And you've got a whole full month ahead of you of training on the simulator. So you're going to become just as competent as the other 2 colleges where the simulator has been. And hopefully we'll be sending you with wonderful skills to GABS. But look, not only technically, and I think this is an important part of the program, which we didn't mention up front, but I think it bears mentioning now. These learners have gone through psychometric testing. So the recruitment process was quite rigorous. After psychometric, they went through non-technical training. They've been schooled, for want of a better word, on socialization in the workplace, on workplace behaviors. They've had quite in-depth training on working in teams, managing yourself, managing your time, being cognizant of a work culture, and making sure that you're now fitting into a culture and not the other way around, where the culture fits around you. So I think we've done that. We are refreshing on that, but also then beyond that, we've had entrepreneurship training, which they have completed, which you're going to hear about in a second. So I think we, with the well-rounded project that we have, we've tried to ensure that our learners are as well-rounded as possible, and they are technically and non-technically trained. But I think at the end of the day, when you get into the workplace, that is for you to actually put your hand up and say, I'm here to stay. All right? Thank you very much. You can take your seats. Okay, so we're doing very well with time. We're not running late, and very pleased about that. So we're getting to the next part of the program, which was the watch the space part of the program. And what we said earlier on was that it takes partnerships of all sizes and shapes to make this type of project to work. And the thing that we found quite particularly in the Western Cape is that large employers like GABS have taken the lead, but they haven't been alone. There have been smaller operators, smaller employers, people who have become extremely innovative, who have taken the bull by the horns, and who have really operated on the cutting edge of technology. And so this announcement is an announcement that's been percolating in the pot for quite a while, and I'm very pleased to call upon Board van Niekerk to make a very special announcement.
Hi everyone. Bouwer van Niekerk from Stroom, Stellenbosch. Interesting place where a lot of EV activity happens. Many of you might know Mellow Vans, which is a 3-wheeler vehicle that has now been launched also in Europe. We have Semi-Charge, we have various charging companies, infrastructure, and Stroom fills the space of cargo e-bikes. And I don't know if any of you, and I'm going to take the students there at the back.
Students, are you there?
At the back.
Yes.
Who of you have ever ridden on a cargo or an electric bike? Who's put up your hands? One. So this is a very exciting and new field that is coming up. If we look at a country like Germany, which is only 30% more people than us, they have sold last year close to 200,000 cargo e-bikes. Now think about that number, 200,000 cargo e-bikes sold in 1 year in one country that has only 30% more people than us. So why is that happening? It's because cargo e-bikes is the most efficient and the most cost efficient vehicle to deliver goods. All right, so now let's take our South African townships where we have 11.8 million people. Delivery services. Who can get a takeaway from all the students who have received a take-a-lot package delivered at their house? See the hands? All right, it's getting there. Who has Uber Eats ever delivered at their house? All right. So it's not everybody. It's a service that's not necessarily already there. And what Strum is announcing today is that we are taking 4 students coming to Strum. And next year, if we, and those students will work on electric vehicles, micro-electric vehicles, which is 2-wheelers, bike with delivery box, 3-wheelers, which is a trailer that's electric that fits behind this cargo bike, and 4-wheelers, which is a 4-wheeler little man, the van. Some of you might know Postman Pat. You remember Postman Pat? His black and white cat? That little van that he always driving? Think about that as a little delivery van that is electric, but it classifies as a bicycle. We also manufacture that, and Strum will expose our students to the full manufacturing cycle, from CAD design to battery building. We build our own battery packs in-house, to the full construction of a vehicle. So more than 80% of the vehicle value under one roof, we manufacture under one roof. And in October, we are having a big launch at the International Cargo Bike Festival. We will have all 3 vehicles in Utrecht, Netherlands. And what's interesting about it is that we also have received the podium for a 30-minute presentation for light electric vehicles. What's the importance of lightness in the electric vehicle space? And then something that we're going to talk about in the future is autonomous delivery. That is also now coming. You see a lot of that happening overseas. And so what should a vehicle look like? What's the characteristics of a vehicle for the autonomous space in delivery? And so, yeah, that's what the students will be exposed with at Strum. And also, we are part of the Aerospace Industrial Support Initiative. And the reason for that is that we manufacture out of composites. So we're not just making a vehicle, we will be the first of its kind vehicles in the European space when we launch at the International Cargo Bike Festival. So thank you so much for this power project. Thank you, Saki and all the partners, and yeah, let's make South Africa proud.
Can I ask Yanni to come to the table just to sign this groundbreaking service level agreement with Strum? Okay, while that is happening, can I ask the students to join us again in the front? Because I think we've got some nice certificates to hand over to you. Can you please come around on that way, please?
Right.
Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, the learners have gone through entrepreneurship training. This was a critical part of what we're trying to achieve in this program. We know that training doesn't translate to opening businesses. It's not as easy as that, especially in South Africa, where the stats are. I'm not even going to mention them. They're too depressing to mention. And so we think that there'll be a fighting chance for young people to get involved in e-mobility businesses. I mean, just by mention of Strom and Mellow Vans and people like that, you're starting to see small operators coming to the fore, and this should be really a huge encouragement for you guys. But before I go on to the graduation, I'd like to acknowledge an important person who referred us to Strom in the first place, our good friend from Yes. And we just like to say a few words quickly before we get going with the graduation.
Yes.
All right, put your hands together for Alison van der Walt.
Good morning, everyone. This is like, not prepared, but I think for me, the most important thing is partnership and collaboration. And I mean, as much as most organizations say they do it, I mean, to actually see it happening, it's beautiful. So our intention at YES is to make sure that you just get opportunities as much as possible. And besides youth employment, I mean, I think we specialize in partnerships. I mean, we've got more than thousands and thousands of partners that invest so that we can make it go and make a difference in young people's lives. So thank you very much, everybody. And please don't do that. But congratulations to you and good luck. And I'm so excited about EVs. And yeah, bringing this people, I think we're going to partner a bit longer than just this once. And thank you, Sterling, for taking up this opportunity and making it happen. Thank you.
Okay, so we truly surprised her and she did very well. Don't you think so, guys? Round of applause. Round of applause. Okay, so I now hand over to my esteemed colleague Bina, and she will then handle the graduation. Is Yanni doing the handing over? Yanni, if you don't mind, over here, and then you can take over from here.
Thanks, Vijay. So, as Yanni mentioned earlier, SECI believes in a more holistic training. So when we've been engaging with industry partners, what they're saying technical training is not enough. So what we've added onto our project is work-based training. Now we see, in terms of the economy and not everyone getting to form a job, we think entrepreneurship is also quite an important aspect. So what we've built in all our programs, including, or even other projects, is entrepreneurship training. And just to give you a bit of, so what these students have been doing while they came in the morning for technical training, twice a week they were attending an online session for entrepreneurship training.
Just to give you a brief outline of the entrepreneurship program, they went through an Ignite program, which is an 8 to 10 week practice-based entrepreneurship journey designed to equip students with the mindset and skills to create viable ventures. Combining interactive learning, mentorship, and AI-powered support, the program guides participants from problem discovery and idea validation to prototyping and pitching through a venture journey. So while they were learning the theory, they also have a venture journey platform. So it's not just about learning theory, but they've actually, each one of them have created a venture journey. Ignite builds creativity, critical thinking, and business acumen with a ready-made business plan for pitching to potential funders. This program is offered internationally through academic institutions at school and university, with over 1 million students partaking in the training at any given time. So this is quite a high-quality training program that has been offered through by SETI, through you, and I'm sure you're going to make the best of it in terms of the skills that you've learned through the program. And so that you have completed, and they obviously have to submit 3 milestones in terms of the program, and all of them have submitted the 3 milestones, and those have been evaluated. And of course, at the end of this program, we're also going to have something exciting for 3 outstanding students as well. So that will come later, but for now, we have the certificates available for the students at West Coast. I'm going to call out your name, and you can come forward to receive the certificate. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
How many students do we have? No, in this group. 21. And how many are ladies?
How many ladies do we have?
Where's the trainer?
I think there's about
15 out of 21. No, it's not Women's Month. It's not by incidence. It's by virtue of people like Bina Bin. And at Saki, we are conscious in terms of the composition as well as the gender. Ladies, I know that lots of thanks is going to be done later onwards. I think the person that is pivotal to this venture and to this project is Bina Bin. And she doesn't want to be acknowledged. She doesn't want to be known. She's a hard worker behind the scene. For those of you who don't know, the full-time staff of Saki is five people. That's it. 5 people. And back in the office is Shanita, and this is Bina. And between the two of them, they are the drivers. So thank you very much. It's much appreciated.
Was in terms of having a good representation.
Well done. Well done. Okay, so let's put our hands together. A proper clap this time for the students. All right, so we've done amazingly well with the program. So it's just a vote of thanks standing between us and a sumptuous lunch. So I just want to, I think Yanni has already acknowledged the role that Bina has played and the role that Saki has played, but just before I hand over to her, I just want to say a few words from ourselves as EduSkills. We've really worked hard on this project, but more importantly, we've worked really well together. Not without its challenges, but I think every challenge that we've had in the past, we've managed to overcome it. And I think you can see the fruits of that labor today. And we've had, this is our 3rd launch, and I think a successful launch at that. And so the work that we've done with Saki, Bina is a hard task master. You guys will be you'll do well to employ Bina because she is an auditor through and through. Have you got a BCom in auditing by any chance? Well, she should get an honorary BCom in auditing because she is an amazing auditor. She keeps us on the straight and narrow. She makes it possible for students to get their stipends. You cannot get donor funding without compliance. And I think if I had to give you a title, it would be Chief Compliance Officer. She's amazing at that. Well done. Okay, so who is Bina? Bina is an experienced leader with over 25 years of expertise in education, skills development, and research. She has led large-scale research projects across NGOs, higher education, and government, specializing in work-integrated learning. I think if you say Saki, it's synonymous with WIL, work-integrated learning, and I think that's where they've cut their teeth and have an amazing reputation. As Director of Research and Innovation of the Swiss South African Cooperation Initiative, she has spearheaded systemic reforms in Tibet and contributed to policy, curriculum design, and impact evaluations. Put your hands together for Bina.
Thank you, Bridget. I don't know who that person is. My job, I think for me, is just the students on the ground. Every time when I get up in the morning, is to say, see to the 1,000 messages that I get every day, ensuring that I do answer each one of them in terms of the requirements or what is happening on the ground. I may not be here physically, but mentally, and just in terms of ensuring that the students do receive the quality training, as well as, of course, the stipends that they need to come to the college in order to attend the classes as well. So this particular project, we had started with 80. We did have some dropouts. I'm running another project where we have 130 students, ensuring that those stipends are paid on time. That's my job. So yeah, that's my job is cut out for me. And just in terms of coming back to today's function, and my role is to say thanks to all the participants that are here. But I would like to start off by thanking West Coast College, specifically Atlantis campus, in terms of putting this amazing venue together. We couldn't have asked for more. So thank you to the senior management as well at Central Office as well as this campus in terms of ensuring I just need to send an email and things get done. That is the collaboration that we have with the college. And we'd really like to thank you for that. In terms of the other partners, Melissa, GDET and your colleagues here, we'd really like to thank you. We've worked together before. So, we've known each other for a number of years and we have a good collaboration and hope to do that in the future as well. Thank you so much. And thank you to your team members at the back as well. Rumi, we've also worked together before, so thank you very much. We worked through several projects at GIZ, and now Rumi is at CIFA, so please take back our congratulations to your team as well as other NEPCAD in terms of the funding that we received, but also, I'm not going to go through the rest. What is the compliance and what is required, but I can understand as a funding agency and in terms of the requirements and the compliance which is required, as much as I dread that, I do understand the need for it. So thank you very much, Ruby. Yanni, thank you so much for coming out here. Really appreciate it. It's nice to have you here. We couldn't have you at the other launch, but having you is really appreciated. And also the driving force behind SEC for all the other projects as well. Thank you very much. Mishuda and your team from GAPS really coming forward again. That is an amazing. I mean, I wanted to, when you gave the speech, I said, can we have two buses driving down, to Gauteng? But then our students, Gauteng can also get the workplace exposure. So I'm still, it's still, it's teeming there. It's brewing in my head, so we can see. And it's amazing that Western Cape, we have more workplaces and we have a number of students on this project. So the next step is to say we're going to be bringing students from Gauteng to the workplaces. And that's where we're struggling. We're struggling in Gauteng in terms of the number of workplaces. And we're looking at different strategies to see how we can provide that workplace. And one of those is if we can get a donation of a vehicle. Yeah. Because it changed, yes, because, even there, the two colleges that we do have, including West College, Jervis campus, and so on and up, being in the hub of Automotive Center, we've not had any sort of positive responses from the OEMs there. Can you, okay. All right. So, in terms of GAPS, thank you so much. I know that these students are going to be top class when they come out from your institution. They're going to be taken up by yourself as well as other players for permanent employment. And really, you guys, the students placed here at West Coast, you are in the best place you can be. Then from Strum, thank you very much, Green Cats, coming on board. Really appreciate it. I mean, I believe some of the you visited. And who's visited? And I mean, it's quite an impressive operation that you have there. And I'd like to visit that one of the days as well and come see what is possible for future projects. We also have learning from Green Cats. Is she here? Thank you so much. I know we are still in talks, but we will get that through as well, to see how some of the students can be placed at UCAS as well. Thank you much. Thank you very much for coming through. Then in terms of other partners, we have individuals or colleagues coming from RMI, we have colleagues from ETDT CETA. Yes, for you, thank you very much for bringing the partners on board. And last but not the least, or last two actually, is EduSkills. Rajit, with your positive energy and all the hard work that your team puts in together as well as our technical partner. It's, as I say, everything is a collaborative effort, and you cannot do this alone. So I think we've heard that throughout the day, collaboration is the key. So in terms of that, Rajit, Roshna, and your team back at the office, thank you so much. And last but not the least, our students. I think they deserve a round of applause. A day, maybe hours pass the time that they need to receive their stipends, and I'll have my WhatsApp going crazy from the other colleges. But these students have been amazing. So thank you very much to everyone. I'm not sure if I've left anyone out. Please, if I have, thanks to you and thanks to everyone that's here, and for future collaborations that we can, have a phase 2 of this project. I think that's what's required. This is, the title of today is future proofing. I think the future is here. We need to be training as many young people in EV skills as fast as possible. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. That I think that encapsulates it. The number of people that Dina had to thank shows. I've got you. Okay. And the number of people that she's had to thank shows that this network is getting bigger. And this network of partners, it's about making sure that these partnerships are sustainable. And if you look at the caliber of the partners that we have on board, you can see clearly that we all have a driving passion to make a change in young people's lives. And we want to see that they contribute to the economy and that they use the training that they've been given, not just to drive this economy, but to improve their own lives. I know Shadrach wants to say a few words, but before he does so, we have this very, very interesting problem of being too early. So how's that? Amazing, isn't it? So what I want to just talk about quickly is just the 4 skills programs. So we've got this one skills program called Project Power Up. But what we found is that as we have moved with the employers and as we have reached out to different employers, we found there's been a need for responsive skills programs as we've gone along. And so what's happened now is that this animal called Project Power Up has started to sprout some new beginnings. And so interestingly, we've now developed an add-on to Project Power Up, which is an ICE skills program, internal combustion engine program. And that program is going online. It'll be live pretty soon. And so what's happening now is that we are making absolutely sure that in this just energy transition, as you know, the JET is looking at hybrid first. Okay, so you cannot simply overturn an existing industry and end livelihoods. You've got to be responsible and you've got to upskill and reskill. And so while people are getting the good and solid electric vehicle training, and some people are already dabbling with hydrogen. Hydrogen has gone quite far, but not far enough. And so this beautiful simulator can also simulate hydrogen technology. So what we've done is we have brought on board or on tap a new skills program that is an add-on to the current new energy vehicle skills program, and it's an internal combustion engine program. Equally, we've got 2-wheelers and 3-wheelers, and pretty soon we will have an add-on that will be a two-wheeler and three-wheeler program. And then, most interestingly, we are dealing with a heavy vehicle operator. We're dealing with a bus operator. We're dealing with truck operators. So Bina mentioned the OEMs. And as much as we engage at OEM level, we engage on the ground as well. The one thing that has come up that has become a need is the need for a heavy vehicle top-up. And so what we're doing is we are making sure, or we're trying to make sure, without trying to be everything to everybody, we're trying to give learners a good enough top-up over and above the new energy vehicle skills program. We're giving them a top-up on an appropriate set of skills that is appropriate to the employer that we're going to be placing them with. So I think that's the versatility of the program, and I think within some limited resources, we're trying to make sure that when learners get to the workplace, they're able to hit the ground running. I mean, I know that's easier said than done, and it's quite difficult to get that going. But with those add-ons, with those extra skills programs, we're trying our best to make sure that when they get to the workplace, they're going to start adding value as quickly as possible. So I think I'll ask Shadrach. He can't stop talking.
Apologies, I forgot to thank one of the most important people in this room, and that is our trainer, Shadrach. Without him, yes, there we go. The students know the quality that we have, not only with Shadrach, but also with the other three trainers that we have in the other three colleges. I think what you're going to get is good quality, and that is dependent on the trainers. So thank you very much, Shadrach.
Thank you so much, everyone. This is really an amazing moment for us, and a day never to be forgotten for the students and for PPU project and for the edu skills. Now, I just come up purposely for one thing. I know all protocol observed. I have met a lot of people here for this program, Mr. Boa, and a lot of seniors here. I'm so overwhelmed. I don't even know where to start, but I appreciate the opportunity to meet you all. But I want to thank especially Mr. Banjit. This man has been awesome. I don't know where to start, but he brought me into the program some couple of months ago, almost a year now. And he just talked to me on the phone. And then after that, he said, okay, we'll talk. They say, come, we'll start to work. We're working, always on duty, always on time, encouraging us. The last time when he came to Cape Town, he took me to a restaurant we eat. He said, Shadrach, I'm glad you joined the team. No, for me, sir, today, I'm glad I joined your team because you are so amazing. I don't only see you as somebody that, as our director or our boss, but I see you as a mentor. Thank you so much. You are always there to see to it that the students, they are well equipped, refined, and motivated, always working behind the scene. Nobody can tell us, but you are always there. Thank you so much, sir. We really do appreciate you. Now, just briefly, we've talked about the simulator. This simulator carries everything that an electrical have. So here, if you look on the side, there are forts that we can simulate for different cars mode, as the student has said. Now, what happened is that this is completely an EV car. So any fault that can occur on the EV car, the fault is already inbuilt here. So we now activate those faults and induce it into the system, and then now we troubleshoot the fault for the purpose of learning. So we can activate the fault on battery, on inverter, on the motor, or whichever one. So we have like a couple of them here, I think about 9 of them if I'm not mistaken, and we do troubleshooting on them. And even there are some other processes that we work with that it teach the student, okay, when you have this fault, you start with the job card. What are the procedures you need to do? You follow those procedures and go through and you check it to see either you come to the right solution. So it's so amazing. We really want to appreciate the people who give us this opportunity to learn with this simulator. So we are so happy, sir. Thank you so much. The PPU project has been wonderful. I met the students when they were like, what's going on here? But together, every day was a plus from the previous. We started learning from small growing up. I always use this statement with them. You can't eat an elephant with one bite, but every little bite goes a long way. So what we do is that all the program that they give us for PPU, we break it into small bites for the student to be able to consume. That's why you can see how they are doing today. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate it.
Well done, and thanks for those kind words. I just want to make one special mention of people who work behind the scenes. And there's a young lady in our office in Johannesburg called Bongi, and she literally has put the backbone of this launch together. In her absence, just a round of applause, please. So we've got a little tour for you lined up. So what we would like to do is we'll do the Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, just a last thing from our side. We've got what I'd like to say is that this program is endorsed. We mentioned earlier on the Masita and the QCTO. I forgot to mention in my haste that the program is endorsed by the Department of Higher Education and Training. And the DHET, I would be failing in my duty if I didn't say how embracing the Department of Higher Education and Training has been of this program. And as far as government bureaucracies go, they have been superb. Superb in the sense that they are very keen to take such a program and infuse it into the TVET curriculum. Now, as far as curricula go, this is a massive ship to turn around. It's a Titanic that you literally have to turn around to get this kind of program into a TVET curriculum. And the fact that they have embraced this project, they were one of the first groups of people to be interviewed in the focus group discussions. The senior manager from the DHET has personally given it the support. So what we're trying to do is, in this whole systemic change, we're trying to make sure that with all these moving pieces that we have, we are trying to first and foremost get the program registered. And I take your point. I know exactly where it comes from. We've been in this. We've got the scars for 30 years or so. But despite all of that, we are very, very confident that this program will be registered. I mean, if you have, I think one of the key things the QCTO says to you, if industry is able to support this program, if this program is proven to be demand-led, then this program will be registered by us. And so you're already finding in the Masita, in the Otto chamber, there has been some very positive noises, not yet promises and not yet signatures, but already, if you don't have, for example, a Masita Auto Chamber on board who have supported the program, it will not fly with the QCTO. And that makes a lot of sense because industry has to be able to use this program. It cannot be a program that is irrelevant to their needs, and therefore all that research has gone into it. It's also my duty to ask you to not diarize because we don't have the date yet, but we will be having a final conference. And so we have one more leg of our journey to travel, and that would be Buffalo City College in the Eastern Cape, where we have an exciting partnership with Mercedes-Benz. And that partnership is, look, OEMs go through their problems as much as anybody else does. And you would have heard, you would have heard that Goodyear has closed, okay? And that is a massive blow to the industry. Having said that, Mercedes-Benz, like any other OEM, has gone through its own share of challenges, but I'm very, very happy to say in this forum that partnership has started to sprout some green shoots. And I think that
we are going to be able to hopefully get something pretty soon. So we're very hopeful for the students of Buffalo City College, and Bina mentioned that in Gauteng, where we're in the middle of the automotive district, it's quite ironic that we're struggling there more than anything else. Having said that, BMW, the president opened that part of the electric vehicle plant where the new BMWs, the i3s, are going to be manufactured. So it should make sense that they should be taking some of these students, but that's for another day. The point we're trying to make in a forum like this, where we're getting so many stakeholders together, is that, and I think it echoes what was said earlier, that this cannot be done individually. It has to be done in a partnership environment, and it takes the caliber of partners that we've got in the room to deliver this sort of thing. So I think without further ado, we are now going to ask you to kindly join us for the tour of the unbelievable 4IR Center. And if I'm not mistaken, ETDP CETA was one of the funders of the 4IR Center, and I think ETDP is here. A round of applause for ETDP, please. Okay, and my job is done. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of West College, I would like to be your tour guide for today to our lovely 4R Center. So once we are done with the 4R tour, we will be back here, whereby the lunch is going to be served here. Thank you so much.
All right, so if you don't mind, you can just join us in the foyer, please.